One action common to all external tool interfaces is the ability to create a reference connection between a Sysml element and an element in an external model. There is no restriction on what types of elements may be connected, as long as they are visible in the Syndea dashboard. The functionality of reference connections is different from other connection types, such as data map and model transform. It does not transform or copy an element from one model into another, and does not support compare and update from model structure and content. It works between two pre-existing elements and must be created one connection at a time. However, reference connections do provide a traceable link between two elements that can be managed, queried, and visualized like other connections, and that do support some useful functions, as we will show. We create reference connections like others in the Connection Manager tab of the Syndea dashboard in a four-step process. We expand the Sysml model in the left column to show the Sysml element we want to connect. Select the target model in the external tool, Jira in this case, in the right column, and expand it to show the element we want to connect to. Check Reference in the central column for connection type, and drag and drop an element in the Sysml column on top of an element in the Target Model column. Exactly the same connection would result if we reversed the last step and dragged the Target Model element on top of a Sysml element. We can see the new connection in the connection browser. We can also right-click it to show some of the functionality it supports. If we select Open Target, it will open the connected element in the Jira web browser interface. We can now view and edit the Jira issue directly, assuming our access credentials permit this. We could also open the Jira issue from the Sysml element in the Rhapsody Model View browser, or even from its symbolic representation in Sysml diagrams. One additional function supported by a reference connection is the ability to detect when a more recent version of the external element exists. We have just modified the issue in the Jira interface, setting the status to resolved. Now we return to the Syndea dashboard connection browser, right-click on the connection, and select Compare Sysml and Target. The Compare Result tab opens, and the red coloring represents a difference across the connection. Hovering over the message shows that there is a later version of the target element. If we return and select Sync Target to Sysml, this will update the connection to the latest version of the Jira issue. Now the Compare and Sync result is green. This capability is available in both configuration-managed repositories, like GitHub, and in non-configuration managed repositories, like a local file system where we access Simulink models, Excel spreadsheets, and other files. In these cases, the compare results depend on timestamp data for the file. In the GitHub interface, where only reference connections are currently supported, we can use the same functionality to see if a later software commit has been recorded by GitHub. In this case, we will use the Go To functionality in Syndea to go to the Structure package from the WBS package where we started. There is currently a reference connection between the flight software and a specific file commit in the GitHub interface. If we go to the connection browser and compare across that connection, we see that there is a later version of that commit available within the GitHub repository. Once again, we can use the sync target to Sysml functionality to connect that Sysml block to the latest version of the file in the GitHub commit. In later videos describing other interfaces, such as to PLM or CAD tools, we will not always demonstrate reference connections, but they can be used in the same way we have shown here.